Today, the type of narcissist I'm wanting to talk about is the self-righteous narcissist. Oftentimes, people searching YouTube videos to get information regarding narcissism are looking at a couple of specific types. Usually the bulk of narcissists that people are trying to deal with are coverts and malignants. However, did you ever stop to think that if you're attracted to a narcissist as a partner, that chances are that you've had other types around you in one form or another before meeting this partner? Could have been your family, your friends, coworkers, bosses, and maybe your partner has some of those traits. But my point is that if we want to heal fully from not only the relationship that we're in, but to all who have left a mark on our destiny, we'll need to look closely. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the speaker stated that we are now at a ratio of 1 to 5. Now, I don't know if that's factual, but she said that 1 out of every 5 people that you encounter is a narcissist in today's day and age. That's a huge number. So we need to heal the past wounds that they've inflicted and protect ourselves from further damage and from future damage. So learn all that you can about narcissism. Learn about the parent, learn about the friend, the siblings, and employers. It's going to save you a lot of future grief. We don't look close enough. I mean, narcissism was never a thing growing up, or so we thought, but it wasn't brought to the light back then. And even in our intimate relationships, it's sometimes taken a year or perhaps even more until we finally understand that they are narcissists. We have to pay closer attention. If we want to heal, we mustn't just get clear on what our partners are and how it affects us, but also get clear on the friends, the parents, the brother, the sister, or teachers' behaviors towards us growing up, and look to how it affected us and then release it. We come to radical acceptance and then free ourselves from all of it. The truth shall set you free. You have to bring it up first and then let it go. You always have to open the door to let the mouse out, right? Hopefully, anyway. My stomach turns when I see a mouse trap. So my name, for those who don't know me, is Deanna King, and this channel is all talk narcissism and codependency. And I also try to give advice or recommend certain healing modalities for you guys to try on, or recommend books at the end of my videos. Not all of them, but most. So for anybody who's here wanting to heal, watch the videos till the end. And the last thing that I want to ask is please click a like if you feel that way, of course. Comment, subscribe, and or click on that bell so that I can grow this new channel here. And thank you. So on that note, we start. Let's take a look at these self-righteous narcissists here. Self-righteous narcissists are individuals who possess an inflated sense of superiority, a notable lack of empathy, and a proclivity for imposing their beliefs and values on others. They can be quite judgmental. They exhibit an inflated sense of superiority, a lack of empathy, like all other types. They often portray themselves as morally superior and believe that they have a monopoly on the truth. So this video today aims to shed light on this personality type and provide examples to help all of you out there to recognize and navigate interactions with self-righteous narcissists. Because whether you have a brother, a mother, a friend, or a partner, these types, they can leave huge cuts on an already existing wound. And when I get done explaining what it is, we're going to talk about that. So stay with me today. Now, let's start with the characteristics. And they're a lot like all other narcissists, of course, but the characteristics of self-righteous narcissists consist of excessive self-importance. They believe that they're better, more intelligent, or more virtuous than others. And yes, we know that all narcissists have this character trait, but it shows differently with these types. The way they do it is they express it outwardly. They don't think twice about rolling their eyes at you as though you were so insignificant in their eyes. And this leaves you feeling completely awkward around them. They make you feel stupid, and that's intentional. And what that does is it amplifies the shame wound in us. You might say something to them about something that you both experienced in the past. say it's a sibling, and they'll bluntly blurt out, that never happened, in such an affirmative statement. There isn't any option to defend or continue the conversation. There just isn't any other reality in their world. It must be accepted as the only truth. Some might believe that their religion is the one and only, and they'll see you below them for not being on the same page. You might feel unwelcome in their homes. They'll point out to you that you're 15 minutes early for a dinner party, and then they'll ask you to come back in 15. Or if you're late, well, sorry, dinner was at 5. And you might explain to them that you got caught up in a traffic jam. But in their minds, that isn't their problem. You should have taken that into account. So you always end up feeling that you can't do anything right around them. If you tell them a story or something that you've learned, they'll look at you and bluntly say, I don't believe you, or I don't believe that. They're so blunt. And the intention is to make you look like you've come unhinged or something. And these are all just examples here. If you're a meat eater and they're vegetarians, they're going to look down on you, and again with that air of being better, snobby better, or they have more money than you, a better job, more popularity, and the list goes on. And like I said, they really let you know. They're really blunt. It isn't as hidden as it is around a covert who will make you feel small and judge you also, but they'll do it more backhanded. Lack of empathy. If you're down on your luck, such as your vehicle broke down and you're on the highway, they're not going to come and pick you up. The bottom line is they don't feel like it. They'll just stay in the comfort of their home. In their minds, you are not their problem. Plus, you deserve to have what just happened to you. If it's someone who's been trauma bonded and wants to get away from the narcissist in their lives, they won't lend a hand, be it lending temporary furniture so the victim can start over or help with startup money. But at the same time, they won't hesitate to give out donations to churches or foundations with their name tacked on, of course, so everybody can see. So, like I said, this too was your fault. You shouldn't have stayed with the narcissist in the first place. So you brought that on yourself. And they'll feel no shame over their decision, and sleep will come easy for them. They struggle to understand or consider others' perspectives and feelings, which is basically what I just said. But with the mask on, they appear to be in full control, poised and put together. The mask is, I'm better than everyone, so they appear perfect, kind, classy, and strong. And they're usually pretty popular because that mask of being perfect or having a seemingly perfect life is attractive to the outside world. They have that sense of entitlement where they expect special treatment and excessive admiration. And they can do that by throwing dinner parties, for example, or maybe show pictures of the latest travels that they were on. Then we have arrogance and condescension. They often talk down to others and dismiss differing viewpoints, which is what I just mentioned. Inability to accept criticism. They perceive any criticism as a personal attack and respond defensively. Manipulative behavior. They will guilt trip, gaslight, or use other tactics to control others. A self-righteous narcissist at work might belittle colleagues' ideas, boast about their own achievements, and demand special privileges due to their superior skills and knowledge. Self-righteous narcissists in relationships. In romantic relationships, self-righteous narcissists can be emotionally abusive and domineering. They may and most likely do constantly criticize and undermine their partner's self-esteem. They'll impose their beliefs and values, expecting unwavering agreement. They'll invalidate their partner's feelings and experiences. They demand excessive admiration and attention, like all narcissists, right? They engage in emotional blackmail or manipulation to maintain control. And they're very, very, very bossy. A self-righteous narcissist might berate their partner for their beliefs, insisting their own beliefs are the only correct ones, and threatening to end the relationship if the partner doesn't conform. Then we have the self-righteous narcissist in families. In family dynamics, self-righteous narcissists often create a toxic environment by favoring certain family members over others based on perceived superiority. So if one sibling has more money, is more successful, they'll favor them. They often have this snobby allure to them. They'll impose rigid rules and expectations on family members and harsh judgment. And of course, they'll dismiss any outside opinions like they do with everybody else. Outside of their opinions is of no concern to them. So for example, a child tries to explain something to the mother about a not so fun experience at school, and the mother gives zero space for the child to express. In their minds, it is what it is and there's no other way. They behave as though they're military. They're very, very rigid and structured. They engage in excessive criticism and degrading behaviors, using guilt and manipulation to maintain control and compliance. I guess the big difference for me is what I find in these narcissists is their judgmental behavior. And an example of that would be a self-righteous narcissist parent. They might constantly criticize their child's academic performance, claiming their own standards are superior and withholding affection or approval as punishment. In friendships, self-righteous narcissists, they might dominate conversations and make everything about themselves. Some do, not all. It depends on how they wear their masks. Remember, they want everyone impressed by their perfection. But for those who do, they'll dismiss or invalidate their friends' opinions and experiences. They'll expect constant praise and admiration from their friends, but belittle or criticize their friends' life choices or beliefs. They'll sometimes engage in one-sided relationships, taking more than they give. And an example of that is a self-righteous narcissist friend might constantly lecture others about their political views, dismissing any counter arguments as ignorant and cutting off friends who disagree with their stance. Really, really judgmental. I can't say that one enough about them. Social media can be a breeding ground for self-righteous narcissistic behavior, as it provides a platform for individuals to showcase their perceived moral superiority and attack others' viewpoints. But then again, it all depends on the mask that they're wearing. They can also often not argue on social media, where they'll be a little more covert around it. Remember, they need to be appearing as perfect. Some self-righteous narcissists have a more covert flair to them, while others have more of an overt flair. But if they are the types to get involved, examples include posting aggressive, self-righteous rants about their beliefs or their causes, engaging in online bullying or harassment of those who have differing opinions. They'll share inflammatory or misleading content just to validate their stance, seeking excessive validation and praise from online followers, dismissing or attacking any criticism or differing perspectives. A self-righteous narcissist might post a rant on social media about their veganism, aggressively attacking and shaming anyone who questions or disagrees with their lifestyle choices. In conclusion, self-righteous narcissists can be challenging to deal with due to their unwavering belief in their own superiority and lack of empathy for others. However, by recognizing the signs and implementing healthy boundaries, it's possible to navigate interactions with these individuals more effectively. Remember, their behavior is a reflection of their own insecurities and emotional issues, not a reflection of your worth or value here. Most of all, however, and more important, is you. If you grew up with a self-righteous narcissist, be it a parent, a sibling, a friend, etc., your past environment has had a huge impact on your life. Your past has cut you deep, and the reason it cut so deep is because throughout your whole life, you were made to feel that you were never good enough through utter disgust. They would look down on you as though you were the worst thing in existence. And it wasn't hidden like most coverts that we deal with. And that's a lot of shame inflicted there. And in this, you always hoped and thought that one day they'd accept you, because to you, that relationship was never over. You wanted and needed their acceptance. We need acceptance in order to survive in this world as humans. And you hope that that day would come where you would gain their acceptance. Now you're all grown up and that day has never come. They're still the same, but you're still hoping it does, until you realize the truth of what was and what is narcissism, which means that it was never about you, but all about their own insecurities that unfortunately bled all over your life. And you also now realize what that means, that the whole time that you believed that somewhere deep down they loved you, or would come to see that you weren't this awful person that they wanted you to think you were. But if they're a narcissist, they never cared. They never will. And again, I emphasize, it isn't you. They don't have it in them to give love. It isn't because you weren't or aren't lovable. Actually, a lot of times it was because you were and are, and that makes them jealous. They feel that they're losing the spotlight if they allow you to have it. And you, how do you think you're feeling with that? Most of the time we don't feel anything but zombified by it because we're too busy being, busy trying to feel worthy. Most victims of this abuse who are living with a narcissist are constantly cleaning, for example, trying to make everything just right. It makes us feel better because somewhere in that we get to control something in our lives, and that makes us feel better. In fact, so much better that we become obsessive. We become obsessive because it's the one place in time where we feel peace and where we can control our world. We feel that we're enough, that we've accomplished. So we clean, and we clean OCD style, or we organize, or just work doing whatever. But whatever business we choose or we chose, it's nonstop. And unfortunately, that's avoidance. Because what's being covered up in all this busyness is the mourning that needed to take place but never did. You never grieved that loss. The loss of something that you held on to, that you thought existed, that hope that one day you would be loved and accepted by this person. Mourning or grieving is a natural and needed process for the soul. Grieving is a natural part of life, and it doesn't only refer to the passing of a loved one here. Grieving is a loss of anything that you've held on to, that you're still carrying. Put that down. It's holding you back. Let go of the pain. Look at it, cry, and dispel it. Name it to tame it. As long as you don't look at your emotions, you're going to continue to suffer. Whether that's a lost job, a love that never came, or a promise not sustained, it is necessary to release the sadness because this is holding you back in other areas of your life. One of the areas being self-love and self-respect. The more you clear out your baggage, like empty the mind, the more you look and connect within, the faster the shift comes. And I'm talking about simply quieting the mind here. The rest will come on its own if you're willing, if you're intending to heal, if you're willing to spend time with the self. The universe will respond. And they're all layers. Each layer brings you closer and closer to acceptance of self. And when that happens, you feel at peace with it all. The opinions of others will no longer bother you. Not so much anyway. You'll no longer experience incessant thoughts. You'll no longer feel as though you were this bad person. Shame and guilt will be gone. And furthermore, people will treat you differently because you're treating yourself differently. Some will now treat you with respect, and others will fade away easily and effortlessly, and you will no longer desire them. So learn to feel, and I mean learn to feel from within. Feel what it feels like inside to just be. No thoughts, to just stop, be with yourself. And if you did more of that during the day, things would start to shift for you. A love and acceptance for self develops. That's why I keep saying, give yourself the space. Give yourself the time. Narcissists don't give you the time of day. Well, you don't give yourself the time of day. Start doing that. And without inundating anyone with beliefs, for me, I believe that truth is everywhere, but you can't find it or see it if you don't look within. Your guidance system is there. Be still and know that I am God. Be in the world and not of it. To me, that verse means to be in the world, to go about doing what you do, but as you do it in the moment. Stay connected here. Be fully present. Being fully present is that certain quietness that one feels when you stop and smell the roses. In those moments, you're in the vibration of peace, which is one of the highest vibrations. That's what James Redfield is saying in the Insights, the Celestine Prophecy. To connect, we first look for beauty. We look around in stillness. We breathe and we appreciate what's around us. The narcissists, they keep us in a fear place. And when we're in a fear place, nothing good can come out of it. So we have to literally do everything we can to look for love, to look for beauty in order to get out of this fear place. And that's where, in that vibration, your answers and your solutions, they come. And right now, your head is too full to see anything clearly because your thoughts are on the narcissist. And I get that. They make sure of it. But commit by taking a few moments here and there to let go of all thoughts and just look around and breathe. Feel the breath in your body. What needs to come up will come up. Do this every day. If you're washing dishes, pay attention to that moment. Appreciate the warm soapy water on your hands while you're doing the dishes. Appreciate maybe the sunlight coming on your skin. Stop giving energy to the narcissist. Just thinking about them is giving them energy. So allow your mind to stop. Appreciate the stillness. Receive peace. If you want something to come to you in form, you can only get it if you own it or feel it from within first. That's quantum. Sometimes you'll have a clear understanding of something that makes perfect sense and you're able to move past that certain thing. Other times, the mountain of work that you had to complete gets done easily and effortlessly because the solutions seem to magically take place. Then there are the moments of healing and wisdom that take place also. There's magic about giving yourself the space. And sometimes that space will allot you a cry so deep that it leaves you lighter. And that's another layer removed. There's a truth in do less, accomplish more. We're blinded by these external distractions, the thoughts, the people around us, the survival mode days, the opinions of others, all taking up space in our heads. And so we can't see solutions to things that are right in front of us. And as victims, we've learned to not trust. So this is something that we need to work on to start to trust. And I'm not talking about trust the narcissist, don't trust the narcissist, but trust your inner. Become aware of your thought patterns and start to change them. And a common thought pattern with victims is I'll leave when I have money. When going within and quieting the mind is what's going to move you closer to the door and bring solutions for you. And then new doors will open. We have to work with the quantum first. And a lot of you are probably thinking that you're too scheduled out, but I'm here to say that you don't have to spend an hour in meditation. Just take moments here and there to stop and go within. And apart from that, as you go about your day, practice being in the moment. Create stillness within as you move around in the without. Be in the world and not of it. That connection is your guidance system. Follow it. We're in the male energy all the time with the doing. We're trying to figure out how to leave the relationship or trying to figure out how to make it work or how to make them love you. All that is doing. That's all male energy. Female energy is receiving. It's allowing. Give yourself permission to receive peace, to receive guidance. After all, how can we receive anything from relationships or the world if we aren't ourselves willing to receive? Be willing. Repeat over and over again, I am willing to change. Magic in that one. So I am really hoping that my words have touched the hearts of at least one person that benefits from this video. Of course, I would hope for all, but even one, and I have served with gratitude. So we shall see you in the next video. And in the meantime, be here now. Bye for now.